Welcome everybody to another episode of Tales from the Jails. We're here live in Empowerment USA. TNS Media Group with the team and the family. You know, my counterpart is always in his phone, as you already know. Not paying attention. Got anything you want to say in the beginning of the episode, Mr. Jackson?
No, they ready to see the episode.
Okay, so we got a special guest today. You got Don Leam here with us today. You know, he spreads a lot of positivity. He's somebody that we follow on the gram, somebody that we watch all the time, and he's about being positive. What's going on, Don Leam? How you feeling today?
What's up with you, man?
I'm good. So, as you know, Tales from the Jails, we always say this. We always talk about spreading positivity and to inform those who are here breaking law, no matter the age, that prison is definitely an option if you're breaking law. And our job is to deter people from going to prison. So we talk about, you know, these prison stories of what's going on behind the wall and how time is lost and things of that nature, and different stories which can bring light to the people, individuals who watch Tales from the Jails. You know what I mean? So we're going to ask you some questions today. You know, you can talk about what you want to talk about. You can leave out what you want to leave out. But, you know, ultimately, we want you to give your story to the people. So if we can start, you know, where you from?
I'm from Vernon Road in Fayette. You know what I mean? Uptown, Philly.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
And Uptown Philly, describe that for you, if you could, you know, coming up as a young kid, you know, in that area.
It was like, I ain't gonna lie, Uptown was a beautiful place to grow up, because it was like, if you really think about it, you had like a lot of places you could go. A block over, dudes were selling drugs. A block over, wasn't nothing happening. It was like you could make that choice, but it was like where I lived at, on the corner, it was like drug dealing. You get what I'm saying? So my mom always said, don't go down there. But my inquisitive mind is like, well, what's down there? You get what I'm saying? And then it's like, it wasn't no rec center where we was at, so it was like, we ain't really have nowhere to really represent. We had to play ball in the schoolyard, and you got people that had like, you know, courts in their back and stuff like that. So it was like, a lot of times we ain't had no real identity, something that we could call our own. You know what I mean? We had our schoolyard, but other people had rec centers. Because if you from Uptown, you know, like, every hood got their own rec center.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? We ain't really had that. Like, Wadsworth had a rec center, but it's like, at the end of the day, it was like, that's not our hood. You get what I'm saying? So it was like, Vernon Road kind of was just sitting right there.
Exactly.
Was, you know, I ain't gonna lie.
You ain't go up Simons? Simons is right there. So Simons playground, then you had Finley.
You know what's crazy, right? I'm a Mount Airy dude, right? But I played for the Oak Lane Wildcats.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I ain't mad at that.
The blue and white?
Yeah,
What's Oak Lane Wildcats?
Yeah, what's Oak Lane Wildcats?
Yeah. Football team.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I was good. I defensive end and all of that. I played tight end, kickoff, kick return. Let's go get them. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you was up Simons in the field and all that?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
But
so
see, we practiced at Finley, so it was a little closer.
yeah, I
to Mount
practiced at
Airy.
Finley. Okay, yeah. Finley had like the basketball rec center up there too, though.
Finley was cool, but like I said, it's like a little distance to Finley, and you kind of like, you get disconnected from that, because you like, yo, why can't Finley be a block over?
Yeah.
Because everybody else got rec center. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So you know, fast forward a little bit. You know, what led to you going to prison? What happened to you know, if you want to tell your story about what led to you going to prison?
All right. Well, you know, I got locked up for shooting. You get what I'm saying? A shooting that I ain't had nothing to do with, over an altercation that happened earlier in the day. Later on that day, the dude that I got in an altercation with ended up getting shot. I wasn't there. I didn't do it. And I went to go see what happened and got locked up on the scene. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, you know, you go up there, you hear the shots like everybody else. You was a spectator like everybody else. And I go up there to see what happened. You know what I'm saying? And they on the scene like, yo, that's him right there. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, me and my young boy, like, I'm gonna look back, like, they talking about us. And it was like, Officer Scrocky, you know what I mean? She was like a officer that used to hop out on us on Tuesdays and Thursdays, check and see if we got weed on us. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like up there like, wait, Scrocky, like, I wasn't up here, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a white shirt end up like basically coming to the car. They put me in a cop car. White shirt came, like, where you put the gun at? I'm looking at him like, put the gun at? I don't even know what happened up here, you know what I'm saying? But to fast forward, you get what I'm saying? You know, I went away. That was April 18th, 2013, and I came home May 2025, May 15th, 2025.
Wow. So let's because what we like to do is we like to paint a picture. So you get arrested. If you can pull the mic a little close to you. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So you get arrested, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you was in the county. Did you make bail or?
Oh no. So I was on probation for a gun. I caught a gun case on 2011 Thanksgiving 2011.
Mm.
I caught a gun case up Germantown Field at the Martin Luther King the Martin Luther King versus Germantown game.
Oh yeah, this be popping back in the day.
I got caught with a gun up there, and I bailed out on that, and I was out on probation, and I ended up catching that probably like 6 months later. So, I mean, I was on probation, so I couldn't get bail. They dropped the dipsy on me. You know how that go.
Wow. So you was in the county?
I was definitely in the county.
Where CFCF? Pick?
I was at CFCF. Got kicked out of CFCF, and then I was over Pick. I might have did 2 years over Pick, because I did like probably like 28 months in the county.
Wow. So you had detainer for all that for the whole time.
Yeah, they don't lift the detainer until they find out the outcome of the case.
Yeah. But it was a moment where they like, you know, that Rule 600E and all of that. They start trying to put that in. And they try to give me house arrest, but my front judge, which was the probation judge, was like, "No, you ain't getting out. I ain't lifting the dipsy. Go ahead, figure that officer."
Yeah, I need to see you figure that one out first, and then get back with
Yeah, because like you in the joint for a gun, and then you got the temp murders. Is like Nizzo. Like you ain't going nowhere.
So describe for us the county. You know, the county is real radical up in there. You know, geographical. You know, a lot of stabbings, a lot of different people from different areas. And then, as you know, people look at people from Germantown, Uptown as being, as FS the Bender always say, look at them as being food in there. How was it for you being in the county?
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't know that dude, but I don't resonate with that. I don't think that's how that went.
Well, he always say that. He always say like, people. He mentioned it as well. Like in the county, a lot of times, like Black and Arrow said, they don't really have like Uptown people don't really have like
this was a stigma from the early 2000s, 99, 98. Like Frankfurt wasn't known. Uptown guys was looked at like, okay, they ain't really on some hardcore stuff. You know what I'm saying? Over time, though, that's when it started to be like, oh, damn, they making their presence felt. You know, because I'm a jailhouse boy. I've been in there, not to say that, with any type of proudness. So, if you was from the likes of Southwest didn't say you would see a Southwest dude, they won't claim Southwest. They say they from West Philly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because Southwest was looked at, who the hell is Southwest? But now, Southwest, like, when you sit there and look at the murder rate and the stuff that's happening in the city, you like, wow. You look at Frankfurt and what they call you like, wow, Uptown, yeah, all that and that. Yeah, see, over time it evolved into what it is now. But back when we was going to jail, back 99, 2000 in the county, West dudes was looked at soft. You had to be men, which we from West Philly. North Philly was basically like the matriarch of jail. They all in there and they acting crazy. And your South Philly dudes, they was on crazy time. But other little parts of where as though Uptown, Frankfurt, Kensington, you wasn't hearing about that then. You wasn't not back then. Now, if you go to jail, it done reversed. It done all the way reversed.
Yeah.
So it was just the times at the time.
Yeah. So you in the county, right? 2 years in the county. How was that for you? In the county, was it a difficult transition? Because you never did any time before, but going to county.
First time doing time?
All right, so in 2011, right? I caught like right before I graduated high school. I was out late, whatever. Somebody tripped a silent alarm. I had to go to jail for a home invasion. Lady said that I had did something, and I had went to the youth. You get what I'm saying? But they found out that it wasn't me. It was like a joint where she was like, well, somebody tripped the silent alarm. He the one that's walking right here. When the cops ran down, they like, yo, that's him right there. You know what I'm saying? So I did like 4 months from like April 2011, and I came home. I did my senior project in the jail, and they gave me credit, and I graduated high school, got my diploma. My mom was happy about that. And then I ended up coming home August 20, I caught the summer, 2011. And then that's crazy. I caught my gun case 2011 Thanksgiving, and then, it was like, that's how that went.
Domino effect. It was just when it rained and pours.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, like, one thing I could say, though, when it come to jail, you just kind of you gotta have heart. So I'm just talking about if you're gonna survive the right way, because you got dudes that, there's different ways you could survive. You could survive without your dignity, or you could survive with your dignity. It's either way. You know what I mean?
What would you say a dude coming in thinking like, I'm gonna just mind my business and stay out the way, but he got 10 years, like I ain't gonna get no, but he like timid, but he ain't in nobody's business. Do you think he can survive?
I think he can survive, but I feel like in order for him to survive, he gonna have to have a brain. Cause it's like it's always stuff pulling at your attention. It's always things you can accidentally get into. It's always landmines you can accidentally step on. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's always, so you really gotta be on your P's and Q's and be faster than most of the people around you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, let's rewind back a little bit. So the county, right? You in the county, like you said, it's just, sometimes I feel like it's survival of the fittest, basically being in the county. Now you there 2 years, and then you go to court, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you take